Okay, can you please state your name, age, and relationship to me?
My name is Delia Bernstein. I am 66 years old and I am your paternal grandmother.
Okay. Uh, are you the first generation born in the U.S. or if not, can you please state who was, if you know?
I am the second generation born here in the States. My mom and dad were the first. My grandparents were from Mexico, so my mom and dad were born here in the United States.
Okay. Um, when JFK was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963, some people have said, some people have said, hope in America died that day. How do you think that this tragic accident has changed America? This tragic incident changed America.
Oh gosh, it changed it a lot. Uh, President to be John F. Kennedy, or he was running for re-election, I believe, when that happened, or was it?
In 63?
Yeah. He was assassinated in 63, so yeah. He was our hope, and when he was shot, our world came crashing down because he was a good leader and he was more caring about the American people.
Yeah. Do you think America lost trust in governments as a result of the Vietnam War? And if so, how has this trust ever been won back, if it has?
The Vietnam War was a war that we didn't really need to be in it. But once we were in it, there was no way out of it, unfortunately. And I think that the American people did lose trust on their government because of all the protests that were going on at the time, and the guys dodging the draft and moving to Canada or other countries, burning their draft cards. So yes, I believe that the Vietnam War was the start of the American people not trusting government anymore.
Okay. What was your perception of the United States when Americans put the first man on the moon on July 20th, 1969?
When they put the first man on the moon, wow. I think that for me, I thought, wow, our country is really ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It probably was something that we wanted to show the world that the United States had what it needed to do something like that.
How was your opinion of the country when its elected leaders, influenced by Watergate scandal and Richard Nixon's resignation on August 8th, 1974?
I think when Richard Nixon resigned, it really made the American people realize that our government is corrupt. This is my opinion. That they do what they please when they're in there without really letting the American people what's going on, what's going on. And they think that they are there to run the country their way. And when Nixon was, when he resigned, the people just lost confidence in our government.
Okay. Iranian revolutionaries captured and held 52 American hostages for 444 days from November 4th, 1979 to January 20th, 1981. How did this event influence your opinion of America participating in world affairs?
I don't remember that part of our history. The Iranians taking the hostages. I just don't remember it.
Okay.
So I can't
we
really
can skip
answer,
that question then. Do you remember when the Challenger space shuttle was destroyed on January 28th, 1986? Did this setback erode Americans' hope in themselves, or were Americans ready to face the possibility of failure in searching for new dreams?
Oh, I remember the day that happened. It was a tragedy that just hit the world. And I think that it was something that set the space program back. But I think that they realized that we needed to step up so that the world could see that we needed to move on and move up.
Okay. In what way do you think our nation changed on November 9th, 1989, when the Berlin Wall came down, effectively ending the Cold War?
Effectively ending the Cold War. That was with Russia. Well, when the Berlin Wall came down, I remember them taking pieces off of that wall. And I remember President, I don't know if it was the same time. What year was that?
That one was
19 what? Because
89.
okay, so then that was when President Reagan was in Berlin. Do you remember when we went to Berlin?
Yeah.
And at that one area, they said that
They had like a couple parts of it still up, yeah.
Yeah, but where Reagan stood, and he said, "Mr. Gorbachev, take down this wall."
Mm-hmm. They had the plaque and all that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. In what way do you think our nation changed? And that's the same question. On September 11th, 2001,
Oh, yes.
the country experienced terrorist attack at the Pentagon and the World Trade Center, also known as the Twin Towers. How do you think America was changed by this?
At first, America became afraid. But then everyone united. Everyone united. People were would have flags flying in their cars to show that united we stand, and we were not going to let those terrorists show that we not that we weren't afraid. At first we were afraid, but then afterwards we just united, and we just needed to get our country back, our what's the word I want to use? Our
Nationality.
no, not nationality.
Pride.
Our American pride back, because everyone was just so scared at that time when those planes hit, and then we find out that it's terrorists on our land. You would hear it about in other countries, but not in ours. But yeah, we just really need to watch our borders and who we let in. Basically, that's what it all comes down to.
Okay. So this is the last question. How would you define the American dream? What dreams do you have for the future and of Americans?
How would I define the American dream? Well,
There is no set definition. It's all your perspective.
yeah. Well, my dream, I've already lived it because, my kids, Stephen, your dad, he's doing well in his job. Your mom, you kids are doing good. I think that's my dream, my American dream, that you guys live in the land of the free and you can get your education and you can do a lot of things that some other countries can't.
So we're living your American dream for you.
You're living my American dream, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much. What event during your lifetime do you feel had the greatest impact on our nation? Was this a positive or a negative event, and how did it change the country? I kind of chose the invention of the iPod because without that, I wouldn't be videoing myself right now for this project. It also gives us access to information as well as, like communication and connection and contact information with people. Makes it easier to kind of get together from two different places at once. It's kind of like a meet in the middle situation, if you will. And number 2, and finally, after a year of studying the history of this country, what do you see as your place in its future? What are you hoping to accomplish for your fellow Americans? What is your American dream? The American dream to me is kind of just like opportunity through hard work to achieve my dream, and not really being limited or dictated to choosing my profession or what I like to do. And my American dream is I want to be a welder and cattle rancher. So that's going to contribute to my fellow Americans by kind of helping a sustainable food source for people, as well as the industry for people to kind of stay at hotels or anything manufactured. And that's pretty much just sums up my American dream and anything that I can do.